Could you just offer a couple of ways that congregational leaders might think about online engagement of their community to stimulate some fresh thinking and make it accessible to folks?
Sure. So it's actually a way that I was challenged whenever I first sought out to plant a church online. And I was in the process in the United Methodist Church where we go through these series of interviews that we call, provisional membership. And so I'm sitting before this group of peers and mentors who are asking hard questions. And it was during the first time I had just expressed this call to plant this thing. I was a couple months in, and one of the members of this board of ordained ministry looked at me and said, now tell me, Nathan, what is the ecclesiology of your church? And I was like, okay, we're dropping seminary questions on me real heavy out of nowhere. And I didn't have an answer. I was like, well, I don't know. I need to think about that. I need to wrestle with that. I need to explore what that actually means. What is the ecclesiology? What does make the church church? And what dawned on me was that I had been serving the church at that point, either as a worship leader or as a student pastor for nearly a decade. And I had never asked that question of any church. I had never been asked that question. I'd never considered, what is the ecclesiology of First Church? What is the ecclesiology of this downtown church or of this rural church? Maybe we need to ask that question more often. And so I think that whenever it comes to reaching people online, sometimes we want to specify it. Sometimes we want to come up with some specific way of understanding it or some specific tool of doing it. But truthfully, I think getting back to basics and down to brass tacks of what do you actually want to do? What is actually the purpose of this thing? And so for us, it became okay, if we're going to be online, well, how do we do evangelism online? If that's the word we're looking at, if that's the term that we're wanting to do, some people may call it outreach. Some people may not like the E word. I understand that. But if we break down what it is that is the goal of this part of the church, or what is the goal of this group of the church, or what have you, then I think you'll be amazed at how quickly the tools show up that are appropriate for doing that thing. It feels very familiar, just as different as it looks to do church online, just as different as it looks to be a congregational leader online or to do hybrid ministry. Truthfully, what it comes down to is asking the questions of what are you doing? What is making church church? What I've discovered in helping and coaching and looking at people who are wanting to start online ministries is that they still have to get past this first step of seeing the internet as a giant billboard, because it can be, and it is for a lot of people. And so there's a lot of folks that see it as a giant moving picture billboard that they can put their live stream up on and hope that brings somebody to church next Sunday. And I'm not saying it's never happened, but if that's your goal, then we have very different goals. That's not why I would be doing this. I'm not here to go viral or to be famous or to use a really fancy looking billboard. I'm here to form relationships. I'm here to build community. And so if that's what your goal is, if that's what it means to be church, then should you be online at all if you're not going to take that seriously and build relationships? If you're not going to pursue the avenues with which to do that. And so an example, because I know you asked for practical here, is we use a platform called Discord, which is a voice over internet protocol, which is a fancy way of saying it's like a big Facebook group, but you can customize it, you can build it and create it yourself. It feels very akin to the forums of the old internet age. And we chose that as being our main area of focus over something like a Facebook, over something like a Twitter thread or what have you. We wanted to do something that we knew was inherently going to be beneficial at building relationships. And so Discord for us was the answer to the question of what is the ecclesiology of Checkpoint Church? Well, it's a space where nerds, geeks, and gamers can spend their time. And we've created a thriving server on Discord where people can engage on a 24/7 basis with one another. And it's not filled with ads. It's not filled with an algorithm. It's not filled with any of the things that are going to distract from the relationships that are being built, but instead it is an authentic form of like thoughtful production. We have created the thing, we have leaned into the technology, but ultimately it came through a very basic process of just answering the question, what is church? Why are we doing this? What is our ultimate goal here? And how can we use the technologies available to us to, create that?